Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my mid-October wrap-up. I've read 6 things so far this month, and I've also DNF'd a couple, and I have a couple in the works, and one I'm kind of on the fence about, so we're going to see. So I'm just going to kind of go through this. At this point, I'm still going to do kind of like 2 wrap-ups a month. That's about how much I average in reading. I'm not saying that's going to happen in November, because November's all hands, that's all different because of the writing thing, but we'll talk about that more later. But at this point, I'm kind of sticking to that. I mean, at some point, maybe I'll go to weekly, but I don't know. I don't think I read enough for a weekly yet. Or ever. Well, I don't know. We'll have to see. So, but maybe when I play around with some more vlogging later in November and then maybe into December, I can try to see how that works. So, well, we'll see. So anyway, I'm just going to go through the stuff that I read and DNF'd and also the stuff that I'm currently reading. So, I finished first off this month, Ancillary Mercy by Leckie. I listened to this on audio in my car. I really enjoyed this book and this whole series, the Imperial Ratch trilogy. As I said, I read the first book a long time ago, and then when it first came out, and then I never picked up the second and third book. I kept putting it off, and I'd never bought them. So I got them from my library and listened to them, and I'm really glad I did. I actually really enjoyed this series. The third book was just, it was so different from what I thought it was going to go, and I think that's what I liked about it. It was not as big and encompassing and epic as it could have gone, and I thought it was really nice the way it actually was. And I don't want to spoil anything by saying why I think that is, but it was really good. And the narrator is Anjoa Ando, and again, she took over for the second and the third book in this trilogy, so it was kind of a hard transition when I first started with her, but then I got used to her, and I think she was a great narrator. And I'm already bought the next book that Leckie just came out with, her new series, and it also is narrated by her, so I got that in audio from Audible. So that'll be in wrap-up Fred's, or book haul audio, I don't know, whatever you're going to call those. I'm going to have some kind of book haul for Kindles and audiobook purchases here in a little bit. But I really enjoyed this, and I'm going to continue with Leckie. I really enjoyed this, and I'm excited to try the next book. I know it's another series, but it's the same universe is how I understand. But I don't know enough. I didn't want to read anything about what it really was about. I just figured I just bought it. Anyway, it's one of my credits. Anyway. So the next thing I read is, I don't have a physical thing, I probably could have showed it on that as well, but it's The Rector by Margaret Oliphant, and it was a short story that I picked up on the recommendation of somebody from the Victober group, those women who are hosting Victober this month, and I've been really enjoying Victober. So The Rector was my first pick because it was like a 30-page short story about a small town where this new rector comes in, and he's like not used to being like working with people. He was more academic, and now he got this living. He's trying to be the rector of the area, and I don't think he does. He's got his eyes open to what he can do and what he can't. So it's very interesting. I thought it wasn't great to me. I'm not sure I want to. I mean, maybe it wasn't the right one to pick for the first one for Margaret Oliphant. I've never read her before, of course. That was a new author to me that I'd never heard of. So I know a lot of people are doing the read along with the Victober for Mrs. Marjorie Banks, I think. And I'm just not sure I want to continue. It's in the same Carlingford series. I picked the first book, which is The Rector, but I don't know if I want to read more. So I'm on the fence about that. But I gave The Rector like 3 stars because it still was interesting enough and made me think that I liked it, but I'm not sure I want to continue with her. I'm just not sure, maybe, and I don't know if it wasn't the right piece for me or what. So the next thing I finished also for Victober was Agnes Gray by Bronte, and this book surprised me. Now, this is my first Anne Bronte book. I mean, I've read Charlotte Bronte and like Jane Eyre, but I've not really picked up anything else by any of the Bronte sisters. So I thought, well, I had The Tenant of Welfare Hall on my shelf that I bought earlier this year, and I thought, oh, I'll read that. And I looked how big it was. I'm like, no, let's try something smaller. So I picked up Agnes Gray, and I got a pretty good cheap copy. at my used bookstore. It was anyway, but I really enjoyed this, actually. It was very hard to start with. The beginning to me was really slow. And again, it's one of those ones where it's first person and it's kind of like somebody older talking about their younger years. And so there's all this, it's a little slow going at the beginning. But I have to say, we got about halfway into this and it just changed. Like, I was fully invested, I was enjoying it, and I sped through the very end. Just because I could not put it down. I really enjoyed this. And so it came out with a 4-star because, again, the beginning was really hard for me to connect with at first. And it wasn't, I don't know, I just think it was the style. And again, I'm getting back used to how Victorians write compared to some novels that I read nowadays. So, I really like this, and I would recommend this if anybody wants to pick up a Victorian read. And again, just be aware that the beginning is a little dry. To me it was, at least, and but it got so much better. I really enjoyed this, and I'm glad, and I can't wait to pick up her other novels, so which will probably happen not this month because I got so much stuff already on my plate, but it's gonna happen soon. Then I picked up another one, and actually I haven't hauled this one because it's gonna be my October hauls, but I got Carmilla by J. Sheridan Fanu, I think is how it's said. I'm not sure. This again is one of the very first vampire novels, and it might even be the first. I'm not even sure if I've actually heard if it technically is or not, but I know it's before Bram Stoker's Dracula. So I've always wanted to read this. It was one of those ones where I heard rumor of it for many years, never could find it, and then I kind of forgot about it, and then again, with Victober coming up, people were mentioning it again. I was able to get the name down and get it correct. I was spelling it incorrectly when I was trying to Google it, which is why I didn't find it a couple of months ago when I was looking for it. So anyway, so I got this kind of cool copy. Anyway, so, well, I'll haul it later. Anyway, so this one was weird. So it's another Victorian read that, I wasn't, it took a little bit to get into, but this was so atmospheric. Like, this is one of the most atmospheric books I've read in a while. It was very much like the setting was just phenomenal. And I think that was the best part of this book. I mean, the characters were not all that smart in the way, but maybe it's because I watched too many vampire movies and read too many books. But I'm like, come on, guys, come on. But I think it was cute. It was about a woman and how this person who comes as a guest kind of changes everything that happens at their little their castle or whatever. I don't remember how they say that, schloss or whatever. I don't know how you say that word. Anyway, so I give this 3 stars only because it was so short. I wanted it to go in so many different directions, and I wanted more information in the end. It just kind of wrapped up really fast, and to me it was, at least. So it's because it's not very long. It's like, what did I say? It was like 124 pages. So, I don't know. I just wanted more. And again, that's me in shorter stories. But I am glad I read this. I'm glad I have a copy of it now. I think this is one I'll want to go back and reread later. Because I think my first impressions, again, I was just trying to read it because, again, for Victober. But I think I might have tried to read it too fast. I think there's just so much in here that that I want to catch more of. Or maybe understand better. I don't know. It was an interesting book. And again, I'm glad I read it. I wish it was better, but maybe longer. I don't know. So, then the next book I finished was See What I Have Done by Sarah Schmidt. And, this book I got from the library. I had this on hold, I think, before it was published. I was waiting for that, and I really wanted to buy it. I almost bought the British copy, like, through Book Depository, but I held off because I'm like, well, I don't know if I'm going to like it or not. This is a book about kind of a retelling of Lizzie Borden's, people around the murders of her dad and her stepmom. And, I don't know, like, okay, so I did not enjoy this as much as I was hoping. I was really hoping to just love this. Like, I think at the beginning I read it and I thought, okay, this is going to be good. And then it just kind of deteriorated from there. And there was, really, You know, you had one character that I was like, I felt sorry for her, but I wish she'd stand up for herself. I had another character who, I don't know, you felt sorry for her more than anybody because she was locked into her situation. You know, it was just, there's nothing she could have done. And then this guy who, it's kind of this weird way of wrapping up parts of the mystery, but this, you know, I don't know. And there's just weird characters. I personally had trouble with the way Lizzie Borden was depicted. I don't know. And again, I know I've read stuff on her and I've watched documentaries, and I don't know, it's just, I didn't quite buy this author's take on what Lizzie would be thinking or doing. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that Lizzie did or didn't do it. I'm saying I don't know if the way it was justified in here, or what, you know, how she was thinking during that whole period, you know, I actually believe or not. So I'm not sure. So I only give this a 3-star. I think it was still well written. That was not my problem. I just did not believe some of the stuff. And I didn't like some of the characters, and I don't know, it was just a weird read. But luckily it was quick and I got it through, and it's a library book and I didn't spend any money. Yay. And then the last thing I finished just recently was Say Yes to the Marquee by Marquess, by Tessa Dare. Sorry, still going. I'm gonna die here. So this is the second in the Castle Ever After series that I picked up the first one like 2 months or a month ago, and I saw this at the library when I went to pick up See What I Have Done, and I just picked it up, so I'm like, oh well, maybe I want to read this. Yeah, I read it in 2 days. It was just fun. As I said, it's another little historical romance, but these are just so funny. The characters are so funny, but they also have depth and they have issues, and they have to overcome things, and I that's what so far I've liked about hers. And again, this is only the second book I've read by Tessa Dare, and I want to continue reading this series as well as start one of the other ones. Just, again, it's nice fluff, not fluff, but you know what I mean? Like, it's a lighter read that I enjoy because they're fast moving, and they're just so much fun. So I don't want to, as I said, I get something out of it, even though, you know, maybe somebody would call it fluff. I shouldn't have said that, and I apologize. That's not what I meant. It just came out that way. Really, it's just because they're just fun, and I enjoy the characters enough, and I would continue reading these. They're fun. So, okay, so really quick, I'm going to do the couple I DNF'd. So I tried to read Devil's Kiss by Zoe Archer. It's a historical paranormal romance. I just didn't click with it, and this was a TBR jar pick from, I think, August. So I have attempted it. I'm just gonna sell it. it just didn't do anything for me. I have a problem with rich bad boys who, you know, get a curse on them, and I'm not sure I really care. And you know, I don't know. It just didn't work for me. And who knows? I bought it cheap a long time ago, so it's been on my shelf. It's had its try. And I also DNF'd The Yiddish Policemen's Union by Michael Chabon. I did not enjoy this. I got about 90 pages in. I was supposed to read this for my book club earlier this week, and I just couldn't do it. I spent a couple of days and I tried to make myself read this, but I did not enjoy the main character. And he did something while he was on the job, and again, he's a police officer, that upset me. And there's sometimes I just go, that's it, I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. So I did not complete this. I DNF'd it, and unfortunately I couldn't even go to the meeting to hear what everybody else said because I was so sick. It just pissed me off because I don't want to know what everybody else thought, but I didn't get to go. So here's the book I'm on the fence about. I have The Ice Princess by Camilla Lackberg. I only read about 10-15 pages, and I'm just not clicking with this. And again, I think it's a character, the lead character said or did something that I'm like, what? Already? And I have trouble. I guess I'm much better at DNFing right now than I have been in a while. So I don't know if I'm actually going to read this. Again, this was for Mel Bookland Adventures Round the World Book Club. I'm just not sure I'm going to read this. And again, she didn't like it either. And I think after I saw her review, which I probably shouldn't have watched, but it was within her weekly wrap-up, that I didn't know I was going to get that. But I don't know if I'm going to read this. I might just be getting rid of that. But I'll give it one more shot. So, really quick, the stuff that I'm currently reading, I'm in the middle, still the beginning of The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins. Really enjoying this for my another Victober read. It's huge though, it's like 700 pages, so I'll probably be reading this through this next week. But I'm really enjoying that, and again, it's already different from what I imagined just from the descriptions, so I'm enjoying that. I'm also trying to read short stories. The Gothic Tales by Elizabeth Gaskell. This is another one for Victober, and my first Elizabeth Gaskell, so I'm not really sure I should have picked this up as my first one by her, but I'm going to try to read some short stories this week. That's my goal, is to try to read at least one of the short stories or a part of one every night when I get home from work, and just The Woman in White I can read around that. So, but I want to try to get through this. As I said, I'm trying to get better about reading short stories, but I want to read some Gothic Tales, you know, before Halloween. So, and then just really quick, I still have out from the library Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi. And I just want to get this done. I'm going to try to finish it out this week, and when I return all my library books. And of course, I still have the Decameron. And as I said, I just want to read at least 10 more of the stories in here by the end of the month, and be good with that, because, yeah, as you said, short stories and me not doing good. So anyway, so that is my mid-month wrap-up for October. I had 3 stars and 3 4 stars. I had 2 full DNFs, 1 I'm on the fence about, and then I'm currently reading several other things. So anyway, so how's your guys' reading doing? Have you guys read any of these? Are you guys enjoying Victober? So far, I am really enjoying that, even though I have intermixed it with other books. It's been, that's just the way I'm going to have to do it. I can't go just all out in one. I did that with Sci-Fi September too. I just have to read all different kinds of things. So, but I'm really have enjoyed Victober, and I'm actually picking up more books. Like, I've ordered some more, which I won't get to, but hey, all for next year, right? Okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye.